Good morning, students. Today we are going to see land acquisition. The Land Acquisition Act before and after. That is, first of all, let us see what is land acquisition. Land acquisition is a process by which government acquires private property for public purpose. Till 2013, land acquisition in India was governed by Land Acquisition Act 1894. Now let us see what is Land Acquisition Act 1894. That is the key problems with the Land Acquisition Act 1894. Under the 1894 Act, the government could acquire any land as it wishes in the name of public purpose. The public purpose, the term was ambiguous and open to executive discretion. So the poor people were acquired at throwaway prices in pretext of development projects. Sometimes such products never started and the same cheap land was resold at higher price to real estate developers without building anything for public purpose. And the next key problem is low rates of compensation. The rates paid for the land acquired are prevailing circle rates in the area, which are notorious for being outdated and hence not even remotely indicative of the actual rates prevailing in the area. The next key problem is the litigation. Even where acquisition has been carried out, the same has been challenged in litigations on the grounds mentioned above. This results in the stalling of legitimate infrastructure projects. Other key problems are no safeguards. There is no real appeal mechanism to stop the process of the acquisition. A hearing under Section 5A is prescribed, but this is not a discussion or negotiation. The views expressed are not required to be taken on board by the officer conducting the hearing. And the next problem is silent on resettlement and rehabilitation of those displaced. There are absolutely no provisions in the 1894 law relating to resettlement and rehabilitation of those displaced by the acquisition. And the next key problem is urgency clause. This is the most criticized section of the law. The clause never truly defines what constitutes an urgent need and leaves it to the discretion of the acquiring authority. Now coming to the LARR Act 2013, which is the Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Act 2013. The right to fair compensation and transparency in Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Act 2013, which came into force from January 1st, 2014. The title of the old law conveyed that its primary purpose was to expedite the land acquisition. However, the principal objective of the new bill is fair compensation, thorough settlement and rehabilitation of those affected, adequate safeguards for their well-being, and complete transparency in the process of land acquisition. The title has been amended to reflect this. It is first of all the retrospective operation of the act to address the historical injustice. It applies retrospectively to cases where no land acquisition award has been made. Also, in cases where the land was acquired 5 years ago but no compensation has been paid, land acquisition process will be started afresh. Now let us move on to the salient features of the LARR Act 2013 Act. First of all, the LARR Act gives a provision for social impact assessment study, which is not found in the previous act, which means the impact from the society is recorded and the assessment is filed before the government. Second one is consent of the family, which is also not found in the previous act. The consent of the family is taken into consideration up to 70 to 80%. Then the third salient feature is market rate price, which is divided into two. One is for urban areas and another one is for rural areas. The two, that is the in the urban area, the market rate price is fixed as a compensation, that is two times the market value of the site, and in rural area the compensation is fixed as the four times the market value of the site. And the fourth one is additional relief to scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, which is specifically highlighted in this act, which is not found in the old act. Then the next salient feature is restriction on fertile land. So there cannot be any acquisition in case if it is a fertile land. Acquisition can be made only if the land is arable. Then coming to the next salient feature, dispute settlement mechanism. It has a dispute settlement mechanism. It is a separate dispute settlement mechanism which has been constituted under this act. Then the last one is accountability of the head of the department. Every land acquisition head has the accountability. They are accountable and they are answerable for the land acquisition. So these are the salient features of the new act. And coming to the end of the slide, thank you.